They say this character is fictional, with a racially ambiguous face, a victim of a society separated and divided by race. So fiction it may seem, but take a walk in my shoes, and we'll see if you continue to refuse to accept these truths. A multiracial teen that self-identifies as black, but by others thought to be white and faced with constant attacks, from having her hair cut and her lunch money jacked. When her mom came to school, kids asked, "Why don't you look like that?"
My dad is white and my mom is black, but my dad is the person who raised me. So when I was a kid, he would always try to brush my hair and it would not work. It would just get so matted and I would get like these dreadlocks in the back. And oh yeah, having mixed people hair is kind of difficult sometimes, but you know, I appreciate it.
In the past, mixed people, a lot of them were referred to as tragic mulattoes, meaning they weren't black enough or they weren't white enough, and so they were kind of straddling each world. And today it's more accepted to just be mixed. Like people, you can say, you know, what are you? And somebody will answer, well, I'm mixed, and that's an acceptable answer.
We are black, we are white, or whatever we're mixed with. We're both. We get to see both perspectives. I get to know what it's like to be disadvantaged and judged and being looked at like I'm less. But I also know what it's like to be privileged. Half of my family is white. I know what it's like to be both races, and I really think that that's an advantage in today's world.
And to white kids, she was dissimilar to them. To them, she was too black, so she never fit in, facing stereotypes of what they expected blacks to be and had to answer for everything that they saw on TV. She was assumed to be intellectually weaker, a victim of low expectations by teachers who set the bar lower, not knowing it would impede her. She could succeed just as well and be a true leader. It's the tragic story of a young mulatto girl with one foot in each, but don't fit into either world. Personally, I feel like being racially ambiguous is an advantage for me, and for what I want to do, because it gives me access to a lot of places that my darker brothers and sisters wouldn't be able to get to.
I recognize in my life that I have had a lot of privilege, and I also recognize that not everybody of my skin tone gets that same privilege. So I feel like I kind of have a responsibility to use that and to be extraordinary, be one of those black women who rises up above even white men.
People, they'll look at me and they'll be like, well, I don't know what I know she's not white, but I don't know what she is. And so they'll come to me and stuff, and people talk to me about black people like I'm not, because they don't know I'm black. And then I'll be like, oh, by the way, you want to see a picture of my mom?
I hate when I hang out with friends and they try to impress me by playing hip hop music, when instead I would really actually like to hear some new country. I like, have you ever heard, I'm a redneck woman, I ain't no high class foreigner. I like also, if it wasn't for Cotton Eye Joe, I've been married a long time ago. I think country music, it gets down. Even the hoe down, throw down, that shit goes harder than the nay-nay, if you ask me.
In kindergarten, I went to a school called the African American Academy. And so that was my first experience with real head-on racism. And it was I went to an all-black school, it's called the African American Academy. And I would walk in and I was 5 years old and a boy cut off my ponytail. I was bullied by 8th graders and beat up by 8th graders. They took my lunch money, and so my mom started packing me a lunch, and then they took my lunch, and so my mom started coming to the school, and so when people would see my mom, they'd be like my mom, mind you, she's dark-skinned black woman, and so when people see me, they'd be like, "Ooh, that's not your mom," and I'd be like, "I'm 5, that's my mom." I'd be like, "Mom, you're not my mom. He told me you wasn't my mom." And she'd be like, "No, I'm your mom. You just tell them this is who you are."
I've honestly just become a parent of my own race. I mean, I've always known I was black, but I really realized I was black this year with all the recent shootings that have been on TV. That's when I had to take in perspective, wait, why are people who look just like me going through such a struggle that my white friends and even I aren't going through? And I feel like being black and being able to have privilege, I have to help my fellow community because we're all in this together. And at the end of the day, the cop still sees us the same.
I think that America has become this melting pot for all these different types of races and different people, and now you have this whole new race of people, and that is mixed people. We're a little bit of everything, and this is what America is going to look like one day. Mixed people, we are America. We are different cultures coming together to make something different, something mixed, I guess.
Now they say I'm a tragic mulatto because I don't fit into either category. Not made to be a sob story, just never experienced that white man's glory. I'm not passing, nor do I deny my blackness, because regardless of what people think, true blacks still exist. So deny my blackness, but why is that where I feel most comfortable? In a world where being black is frowned upon, I'm forced to struggle. So dismiss the black race as poverty-stricken and inferior, because underneath the skin, we got the same interior. But if you're gonna be quick to judge due to my appearance, take into account my determination and perseverance, and realize that black and white is truly nothing but a color. And as a multicolored individual, I identify with my mother. One drop of this color has determined my fate. So when I say I wanna be called black, don't recriminate. Call me an American nonetheless, and people confess to your ignorance and unawareness. Do not put me in a box to make yourself feel comfortable. I am what I am, which is a black individual.